Hello, welcome everybody who is joining. If you're looking for the live drop-in session for Global Water Centres course, risk-based water management. Hang on, let's start that again. Risk-based water quality monitoring and management. Risk-based water quality monitoring and management. You've come to the right place. This is week 3. So just as we wait for people to join, you'd like to type in the chat one thing that describes how you feel. How do you feel about what you are learning so far? You can type in the chat, or you can raise your hand, unmute and speak, and feel free to express yourself in English, Kiswahili, whatever you prefer. And John, whilst we go through the session, can you make sure you keep an eye on the waiting room and make sure people are admitted to it? And if they aren't, let me know. Make sure everyone can join. So have a think about one word or a few words. How do you feel so far? How do you feel so far? So as people are joining, as we're waiting for others to join, how do you feel? So we are, John, are we halfway through the course? Nearly? What do you think? Are we halfway through the course, John? I think we are. We're in week 3. Got 6 weeks through to the end of August. So we are, well, we're still quite early. It's the 6th of August. So it doesn't feel to me like it's halfway yet. Can you all hear me and see the screen? John, can you confirm that you can hear me, see me, and see my shared screen, please?
Hi, Tom. Yes, you are audible, very much audible.
Perfect. Thank you so much. So this drop-in session that we have every week is also a chance for you to ask any questions that you have about the course content, about anything to do with navigating the course. So while we wait for people to join us, please do ask any questions you have. And John, do you just want to repeat that in Kiswahili? Thank you. Great January that you're with us. I'm going to look at my map and find out where Bugando is. John, if you'd like to just repeat the welcome in Kiswahili, that would be great. Thank you very much.
Karibuni katika semina yetu ya siku ya leo. Wakati tukiwa tunaendelea kuwasubiria watu wengine waweze kuungana nasi, unaweza ukajitambulisha kupitia kwenye message sehemu ya chat. Ukatuambia we ni nani na uko wapi. Yeah.
Where is Bugando? Where is Bugando? John, do you know where Bugando is? Do you know Bugando? Do you know Bugando, John?
Bugando is in Lake Zone region.
Ah,
Lake Victoria.
Lake Zone region. Let's have a look. Lake Zone.
Have you ever been there?
No, I have not. Have you been there,
Have not.
John?
Also, you only see it from the map.
Yeah, just from the map. So there are 3 districts, or are they regions? Mwanza, Kagera, Mara. Are those regions or are they districts?
Oh, wait.
So January, welcome.
Januari Bugando iko sehemu gani?
Ruvuma. Aha, Ruvuma.
Bugando is found Geita region.
Ipo
Geita
Geita,
district. Yeah.
Great.
Bugando is in Geita.
Yeah.
Uvinza.
Asante.
Bugando ni jina la tarafa.
Aha,
ila wilaya ya Geita.
sawa.
How
Tom, do you see Geita from the map that
Yeah, I think
you?
is that right? Gator there. Oh, do use the little pointer. Can we have a practice? Yes. Do you see the little on the left-hand side? You should be able to pick up a pen on the Zoom screen. Can we have a practice? Can you write? Can you mark where you are on the map, please, on the screen? Just going to practice using that function. Can you mark on the map? Yes, thank you. Songea Uvuma. Thank you very much. Um, Emmanuel, you're in Songea Uvuma. So we just welcome, if you're just joining, Hamza, welcome. We are inviting you to mark on the map using the pen function, which I think you guys used well last time. Thank you. January in Geta, near Lake Victoria. So welcome. Looks like we are a small group today, which is fine. So do think about any questions you've got. John, do you want to just ask for some questions, field some questions first, just general questions about the course before we start with the content? John, if you want to invite people to ask any questions they have, we can do this in Kiswahili whilst we wait for others to join. I think, yeah,
Tom, thank
yes.
you.
Mm.
Tunawakaribisheni sana. Kama kuna mtu ana swali lolote kuhusiana na hii kozi mpaka kufikia hivi sasa, tunakaribisha, anaweza akauliza wakati tukiwa tunasubiri wengine waweze kuungana nasi. Unaweza ukauliza hata kwenye chat pia. Karibuni, mwe huru, mwe huru. Unaweza kuuliza chochote kuhusiana na kozi mpaka kufikia sasa hivi. Kuna changamoto yoyote unakutana nayo, unaweza
Okay, Mr.
kuuliza.
John. Mimi nilikuwa na
Karibu.
swali hapa, Mr. Januari kutoka Geita. Swali
Ndio.
langu ni kwamba unavyosema sanitary inspection scores tunamaanisha nini hasa kwa undani? Tunavyosema kunakuwa na SI package ambapo kunakuwa na form ambayo inakuwa na vipengele ambavyo vinataka kufahamu sasa kwamba eneo hili tunavyolifanyia inspection sasa, kama ni kisima au ni nini, kwamba swali langu hasa ni kwamba sio maeneo yote yanakuwa na item ambazo ziko sawa, kwa sababu zile WHO items zenyewe zile checklist zinakuwa ziko specific. Sasa nikikutana na eneo ambalo unakuta halina vile vipengele, ninaweza kufanyaje ili kuinspect lile eneo na nikapata matokeo sahihi ambayo yanatarajiwa?
Oh, sawa sawa.
So if you want to answer the question, John, I do have
Yes.
the sanitary inspection form package in front of me. So if you want me to go to a section, please guide me.
Yeah, the question from Jonah is that in the SI inspection form, it comes with very specific items to check. So now he's wondering if he has a site where he doesn't have all the elements in the form. What does he do?
Good question. So here is an example of a kiosk. This is the sanitary inspection form for a kiosk. If we understand you correctly, you're saying that some of these questions are not relevant to your infrastructure in your context of what you're observing. So what do we think? How do we fill in the form? So if we think, let's have a look. So it says here, are the air vents poorly designed? If there were no air vents and this question wasn't applicable to us, which of these three squares would we tick, would we mark? What do you guys think? What do you think? How would we fill in this form? It's not the green, sorry, that's where I'm going to get rid of the green, just so it's not confusing. Which of these would we fill in?
Tom, can you repeat again that?
Of
Yeah,
course.
that's
So
yeah.
if I understand the question correctly, we're saying that sometimes in the sanitary inspection form, the questions that are listed, this is for a kiosk, are not there. We can't see them. It's not relevant to the water infrastructure that we are observing, that we are visiting. If that's the case, which of these
Yes,
three
correct.
uh, boxes do we complete? Can anyone help? What do you guys think? What do you think? Welcome, Martin. We're just asking what to do when you fill in the form and the question you have before you is not relevant to your infrastructure that you are observing. It's a question we had from a participant. What do you guys think?
Naelewa swali kwamba tunafanya nini wakati ukiwa unafanya ile sanitary inspection. Kwenye form uko na vipengele vyote, halafu kuna kipengele ambacho kipo kwenye form ila hakipo kwenye site yako. Unafanya nini? Mtu mwenye wazo?
Aha, Emmanuel says we should tick NA. And NA, what does that stand for? What does that stand for, NA?
Is it not applicable?
It is not applicable. That's right. So there is always an option. So we can either say that, for example, if we go to question 5, are the air vents poorly designed? If we think yes, we click yes. If we think no, which means they are well designed, then we can click no. But if we see that there are no air vents whatsoever, then we can click NA, which stands for not applicable, not applicable. Super. I think we have enough people on the call to start the session that we've prepared. But if you do have any questions at all, does that answer your question, the person who asked? I hope so. I hope so.
January, tumejibu swali lako vizuri.
Sawa.
Umeelewa
Iko sawa.
Kwa hiyo kama alivyojibu unaweka NA. He is okay.
Super. Great. So we are at week 3. So if you're able to keep up with the recommended schedule, you should be on Unit 2B, where you are looking at sanitary inspection programs, or perhaps you're on 2A, which is also fine. So these two sections are looking at first, how do we use sanitary inspections? How do we conduct them? And we were looking at that last week. Now, this week, we're looking more at how do we organize ourselves? How do we organize our team to be able to do lots of different sanitary inspections at the same time? Well, how do we do a program, a project of sanitary inspections? Well, that's the question. So we've got an opening question for everybody. Opening question for everyone. What?
Sasa nilikuwa na swali hapo.
Oh, yes, January, yes.
I've got a question there.
Please do jump in.
Ndio, karibu.
Yeah.
Karibu.
You answered my question by saying that we can use the NI form. I mean, if I got you well. But on the notes of the 2B or 2A session, I found something known as sanitary inspection adoption. How do we adapt the sanitary inspection form? I mean,
Great question. Great
yeah,
question. And I think
Kizungu kidogo kinasumbua, lakini swali langu ni kwamba nimekuta kuna eneo linasema kuna sanitary adoption. Sasa kama tuna adoption inawiana vipi na hii NIA, sijui wamesema hapo, inawiana vipi? Mimi nikajua ninapokuta kuna vipengele vinakosekana na kwenye ile form, maana yake inabidi ni adapt, nitafute vitu, niongeze vitu pale ambavyo mimi naona ni sahihi kulingana na mazingira yaliyopo. Sasa inawiana vipi na hiyo NI ambao wameisema hapa?
John, would you like to?
Yes.
You can lead your section. You just tell me which slide you would like.
Okay.
And I think you can answer this question by starting this discussion. It's a great question, January, and John is going to talk us through it.
Hilo swali tutaliona kwenye presentation ya leo wakati tunaendelea. Yes, you ready, Tom? I'm ready from my side.
Off you go.
Wow.
So we're talking about adaptations and
Yes.
how and why would we want to adapt the sanitary inspection form. I picked up this image here, John. If you want to use it, please do. If not, I can go straight to the sanitary inspection form.
Yeah. Hizi ni picha ambazo zimepigwa, unaweza ukaziona. Unaona hapo baiskeli, lakini zimefanyiwa matengenezo, zimeboreshwa. Huu ni mfano wa sawa na tunachokwenda ukiangalia kuhusiana na kuweza kuadapti ama kuhuisha mazingira yaendane na hali halisi ambayo ipo kwenye mazingira ya site zetu. Yes, Tom, we can proceed. Or you have anything to add on that pictures? Tom.
Oh, no, you carry on.
Okay. Aha. Karibuni sana, tunaenda kuangalia fomu ya kufanya sanitary inspection. I believe everyone has seen this form. Kama nafikiri kila mmoja ananisikia, tuende Kiswahili na Kiingereza ama Kiswahili peke yake, alafu Tom atakuwa anatusaidia kama kuna sehemu ya kunani. Ukiwa na fomu yako kama hii ya kufanya zoezi la sanitary inspection, uko na maswali, alafu kwenye yale maswali uko na sehemu ambapo inaonyesha unaweza ukatiki NA, unaweza ukatiki no, unaweza ukatiki yes. Alafu kwenye sehemu ya mwisho pale unaona inakwambia kama umeweka yes ama ndio, marekebisho gani, ni hatua gani za marekebisho zinatakiwa. If yes, what collective actions is needed. Kwa hiyo unapo kwenda kwenye miundombinu yako kwa ajili ya kuanza zoezi hili la sanitary inspection, utapitia vipengele. Kila kipengele kilichoko hapo utakiangalia, alafu utaona kile ambacho kinaendana na miundombinu yako. Utajaza kulingana na ulicho nacho pale kwenye miundombinu yako. Kama hiyo hali haipo, utaweka no. Kama ipo, utaweka yes. Lakini ukiweka yes, itabidi uweze kuonyesha ni matengenezo gani yanahitajika ama marekebisho gani yanahitajika. Kwa mfano, kipengele cha kwanza kinasema, nitakisoma kama kilivyo: is the pump in poor condition or loose at the point of attachment to the mounting block. Hicho ndio kipengele unakiangalia, kinakuuliza kwamba je, pampu yako iko katika hali nzuri ama imelegea kwenye kile kiungio cha juu. Sasa utaangalia kama pampu unaiona ipo, labda tuseme ni hand pump kama tunavyoiona hiyo. Hili swali linatumika kwenye hayo mazingira. Kwa hiyo utaangalia ucheki kile kiboksi ambacho unaona kinaendana nacho. Mnaweza kuona picha kulia yenye hand pump, mnaweza kuiona. Kwa hiyo utaangalia hilo swali linauliza is the pump in poor condition or loose at the point of attachment to the mounting block. Unaangalia, je, iko katika hali nzuri? If it is in good condition, then you will indicate it is in good condition. If no, if yes, you will tick it. If it is in good condition, you will tick yes. And if you have selected yes, then you need to provide if there are any corrective action needed. Kama hazipo, basi. Ukienda kwenye swali la pili, linazungumzia is the area directly around the tube well seal dirty? Is the area directly around the tube well seal dirty? Unaangalia kwenye ile pampu yako, kwenye ile sili ya tube, je, iko katika hali gani? Ni chafu ama iko safi? Kama ni dirty utaandika yes, halafu utaandika nini ambacho kinatakiwa kifanyike. Kama mnavyoona, haya maswali ni unajaribu kuangalia kama kuna tatizo, lakini unaweza ukakutana na kinyume chake. Ukikutana na kinyume chake, ina maana utaangalia kama ni no, ina maana utakuta kama ingelikuwa ni tuseme kwenye hili swali kwa mfano, is area directly around the tube well seal dirty? Kama ni safi utaandika no, kwa sababu sio dirty. Mnanipata Na ukiandika no, ina maana there is no need of writing any collective action. Ukienda kwenye kipengele cha tatu, kinasema is apron around the tube well absent or in poor condition? Utaangalia tena hicho kipengele kipo. Kama pampu yako haina hicho kitu, ina maana utaandika ni A, not applicable, kwa sababu haipo. Ila kama ipo, utaangalia sasa itakuwa ni no ama yes. Is the apron around the tube well absent or in poor condition? If it is absent, you will tick yes. If it is in if it is pleasant but in poor condition, you will also put yes. Kwa hiyo hapo uko na maswali mawili. It is A is absent. If it is absent, it is yes. Then in your collective action, you will indicate what is needed to be done. If it's only in poor condition, you will also have to check. Do you need to replace it? Can you fix it by maybe cleaning it? Yes. Now there is a hand. January, karibu.
Asante. Nitakuwa na maswali hapa kwa sababu nataka nielewe vizuri hapo, hicho kipindi nimekipenda sana. I like that session.
Karibu.
Sasa hapa kama nimekuelewa kwenye NA no yes, alafu kuna if yes what collective action is needed. Lakini pia sasa ndo hapa maana yake kama NA maana yake not applicable, kwamba hichi kilicho nani maana yake pale hakipo kwenye ile eneo, kwa hiyo ni not applicable. Kama sivyo, hii statement sivyo, maana yake nitaweka no. Kama ndivyo nitaweka yes. Alafu nikishaweka yes, maana yake naelezea tu kwamba hii kweli iko kwenye poor condition, lakini kwa hivyo kucollect hiyo inatakiwa ifanyike 1 2 3, si ndivyo? Sasa swali langu mimi ni kwamba hii fomu hii ukainspect kwenye lile eneo ukakosa baadhi ya vipengele vingi ambavyo wewe ukaviona pale, vipengele ambavyo humu kwenye hii fomu havimo. Sasa manake kwenye vipengele vilivyopo kwenye ile sheet au ile fomu utaweka not applicable kwa sababu havipo, ila sasa vikawepo vingine. How do we update the inspection form? By adding the items which were not found on the form but are found to the inspected area.
Okay. Now, asante sana kwa swali zuri. Yes, Tom. Tom, there is a question again from January. He is asking, for example, you go to the point number 1. Maybe you are checking for is the pump in poor condition or loose at the point of attachment to the mounting block. Okay? You find this part is not there. This part number 1 is not there in the infrastructure that you are inspecting, where you are conducting the sanitary inspection. But there is something else. What do you do? January, nafikiri ndio swali lako hilo, kwamba umefika unacheki kipengele lakini hakipo, ila kuna kitu kingine ambacho hakipo kwenye form.
Yes. How do we add that item which is not applicable or not found in the inspection form?
Okay, una mfano unaweza ukaweka hapo?
Pampu iko pale.
Pampu ipo kwa sababu hapa tunachoweza kufikiria hapa January ni kwamba labda kama ukute una form ya sanitary inspection kwa ajili ya hand pump, lakini labda ukaenda ukakuta labda una inspect pump aina nyingine. Hiyo sasa itakuwa ni tatizo.
Naanza kukuelewa. Kwa hiyo kumbe kila nchi in each inspection sheet au form it is applicable to the certain or to the specific area, si ndio?
Yeah. Inakuwa to a specific pumping system, mfumo fulani, infrastructure fulani.
Okay. Kwa hasa pale ile adaptation sasa tutaiapply wapi? Kama ile fomu inakuwa imebeba vipengele kama ni hand pump au kama ni kioski, kama ni tanki inakuwa inspected, inakuwa imebeba vipengele vyake. Sasa how do we use the inspection sanitary inspection adaptation? Kama kila fomu inakuwa ina eneo lake maalum na lazima ukutane na vipengele vya kutosha pale, hata kama ukikosa basi utapata viwili, ila inakuwa imebeba vipengele vya eneo husika. Sasa ile adaptation ambayo tumeisoma yenyewe tutaitumia wapi? Maana mimi nilivyoielewa Kana kwamba labda umekuta kuna kwenye eneo fulani kipengele fulani hakipo na haviwiani na kilichopo kwenye form. Kwa hiyo inabidi ukiadopt. Sasa sijui nimeelewa sahihi au sikuelewa vizuri. Mimi nilivyoelewa
Yes,
kwamba
uko
una adopt
sahihi.
unaongeza vitu. Sasa kama iko hivyo na kila eneo tunalo inspect linakuwa na vipengele vyake, maana yake ni lazima ukutane navyo. Usipokutana navyo, basi lile eneo mpaka utamaliza kulinspect hakutakuwa na kitu cha ziada. Sasa tunawezaje kutumia hiyo adaptation na tunaitumia wapi? Hebu nielekezwe hapo vizuri.
Sawa, swali nzuri sana. Okay, Tom.
Yes, I think I understand.
You understand now,
I
eh?
think so, John. What we're
Okay.
saying is this inspection form package has 13 different infrastructure. It may not have every infrastructure that we have in our context, or when we look at it, we might say, actually, this, let me look at an example, dug well with a hand pump. When we click on it here, we might realize that, that doesn't look anything like the pumps that we have. Or when we look through the form, we might think that these questions, if I scroll down, that these questions here, oh, that's not relevant to us. It's not fitted in that way. There is no inspection hatch. So when it comes to making adaptations, we can change the description here to match our context, as long as we don't remove any meaning or any of these issues, which we want to make sure we cover all of these issues. But if we feel that this is confusing for people that are working, we can adapt the descriptions to match the context where we're working. John, is that a fair response?
Yes. Yeah, very, very good response. January.
Yeah.
Umesikia
Also,
maelezo?
I can add up, John,
Okay,
something
welcome,
regarding
Martin.
the question. Yeah, asante sana. So asante sana January kwa swali zuri. Ukiangalia kwenye kozi yetu tunaosoma kuna material ambayo pia tunatumia including hii guideline from WHO. Ukisoma hii guideline ya WHO pia inatambua kwamba kwa sababu WHO ina apply worldwide, lakini huwezi ukakuta labda construction ya water system Tanzania ni sawa na construction ya water system labda Japan. Utakuta kuna vitu viko tofauti, kuna vitu viko sawa na kadhalika na kadhalika. Kwa hiyo kama unaona system inaendana kama unavyosema January, inaendana na kila kitu, labda kinaendana kama ile sanitary inspection, yes, unaweza ukatumia hiyo standard ambayo ipo, lakini kuna room ya kuadapt hiyo form ikamatch na context ambayo uko nayo au ambayo unaiona kwenye mradi wako. Nitajaribu kuweka kuna hii statement pia nime extract kutoka nimeweka kwenye chat, nime extract kutoka kwenye WHO. Ni pale tu kama resource, kwa mfano kama una resource lakini pia unaweza ukaadapt kwenye context na ukatengeneza, imemradi tu isipoteze maana, kwa sababu kwa mfano kama maana labda ilikuwa inalenga kuonyesha kwamba labda surface runoff kwa mfano maji ya mvua yanapata access kwenda kwenye kisima, unaweza ukaelezea kwa namna yoyote, lakini bila kupoteza maana ya surface runoff. Kwa mfano mvua ikinyesha, maji kuingia kwenye kisima, kwa unaweza ukaelezea kwa context ambayo unaona wewe ni sawa, ukaadopt hii sanitary inspection kulingana na mazingira ambayo unaona yako sahihi kulingana na mradi au na element ambayo unaifanyia inspection, lakini bila kupoteza maana yake, bila kupoteza maana yake, still iwe ni lengo ni lile lile la kuhakikisha maji hayawi contaminated. Kwa hiyo maana kwa sababu lengo la hii ni kuprevent contamination kwa mfano kwenye maji. Kwa hiyo unaweza ukaadopt kwa namna yoyote, mradi uwe na resource na ukaadopt kwenye local context, lakini still isipoteze maana ya hicho ambacho natazamia kukifanya. Asante.
Asante. Umepata January eh?
Wow, hapo nimepata picha vizuri. I got you, bro. Thank you.
Labda cha kuongezea hapo kidogo ni kwamba kwenye hii kozi tunaangalia miundombinu 13 kwa ajili ya hiyo sanitary inspection, na utaona kwamba kwenye miundombinu 13 yote imeonyeshwa. Tom, can you go back to the content where we have all the infrastructure which which we have the sanitary inspection form. Yes, that one, the content. Unaona kwa mfano hapa, sawa eh? Uko na hizi una hii miundombinu yote, una dug well with hand pump, una dug well with windy glass. Sasa hizi ndio unaweza ukafanya sanitary inspection kutokea kwenye hii guideline ambayo tuko nayo, lakini unaweza ukafika sehemu unakuta labda tuseme pipe distribution network, sawa. Sasa inaweza ikatofautiana, unaweza ukaklik ukakutana kwamba ile ambayo wewe uko nayo iko tofauti kidogo na ile ambayo wewe ambayo tofauti kidogo na ile iliyoko kwenye picha ya kwenye fomu. Kwa hiyo unachokifanya utaangalia, kwa sababu yote ni pipe network. Kwa hiyo utakachokifanya wewe utaangalia vile vitu ambavyo vinapishana, vile ambavyo vipo kwenye ziko kwenye site lakini kwenye fomu havipo, utaviongeza. Ndio maana ya kuadapt. Halafu vingine vinaweza vikabaki kama vilivyo. Yeah, I think umeielewa vizuri eh?
Yeah, thank you bro.
Okay.
Understood.
Yeah, it is clear now, we can proceed. Kuna mtu mwingine mwenye swali? No, we can proceed now, Tom.
Great, thank you so much. It's very important to think about what do we mean by adaptation, what we can adapt, and what we should not adapt. And thank you, Martin. I think, have you taken that description from the package document itself?
January, umepata hayo maelezo kutoka kwenye
Yes,
document,
this is from WHO drinking water
okay.
quality. Yeah.
So I just put the word adapt into the document to see where it appeared. And I think this is what you are referring to as well. For further information, see yes, which I think you've just picked out. Thank you so much. So we will make sure those resources are available. Great. So in today's session, that was one element that we were looking at, one part we were looking at. And I was going to ask you in a poll, but don't have the poll working. So if you can respond in the chat, giving us one of these options, So think about, you have a project, a program for doing sanitary inspections, a program of sanitary inspections, many different sanitary inspections that you need to do, that you're planning to do at different sites over many areas. What challenges do you think are the most difficult to deal with, And John, if you want to provide any translation to clarify this, please do. And then type in the chat, if you think it's about adapting forms, if what we're discussing just now is the hardest thing to do, or is it about ensuring we have consistent risk factor identification, so consistent interpretation of risk, or is it maintaining adequate human resources, or is it effectively managing the budget that is available? So type in the chat which of these you think is the biggest challenge, the most difficult to deal with in your context, A, B, C, or D. And then John, if you want to clarify any translation, please do.
Unmute. Tuko na swali. Thank you, Tom. Hili swali tukibakia tu kwenye ule mfano kama tuliotoka kuzungumzia, linauliza kwamba ni sanitary inspection gani, ni changamoto zipi ambazo ni ngumu kuzifanyia kazi kwenye sanitary inspection. Hapa kwenye changamoto umepewa kuna changamoto 4. Changamoto ya kwanza ni hiyo ya kuadapti form kulingana na local condition, kulingana na hali ulio nayo. Nyingine ambayo ni B ni consistent risk factor identification, ili kutambua vile vipengele hatarishi. Ya tatu ni maintaining adequate human resources. Ya tatu ni kuweza kuwa na rasilimali watu ya kutosha. Ya 4 ni effectively managing the budget available, kwa kuweza kutumia budget, kuweza kutumia fungu la kifedha lililopo kikamilifu. Kuna mtu mmoja Emmanuel Mafulu amechagua D. We have one response in the chat and Emmanuel has selected D, which is effectively managing the budget available.
So please do have a think and respond in the chat.
Yes, there are still more responses coming. And Angela Bashingwa also has selected D.
Oh, great, thank you. See, someone else has circled. You can mark on the screen as well if you find that easier. I'm keeping a record of what I see come through the chat. Looks like effectively managing the budget available is the biggest challenge, or the most difficult challenge to deal with, which we can appreciate. We can appreciate resources can be limited. Resources can be stretched. Aha, thank you, Manuel. Maintaining adequate human resources. Once you've selected your response, do you want to also type in the chat or unmute and speak? Why? Why is it difficult? Why is it difficult? Why is it difficult? What makes it the most difficult challenge to deal with? And you can respond in Kiswahili or English as you like.
Pia unaweza ukaelezea kwa nini hiyo ndiyo changamoto ngumu zaidi kukutana nayo kwenye sanitary inspection. Unaweza ukaweka kwenye chat ama unaweza ukaunmute ukazungumza.
So looks like we've got, I'm not sure if this one here is for consistent risk factor identification or maintaining adequate human resources. I wasn't sure the mark which one it was for, but it looks like so far the challenges, the most difficult challenges that we are dealing with when we are running, organizing sanitary inspection programs is to do with maintaining adequate human resources and effectively managing the budget which is available. Effectively managing the budget which is available, which yeah, John, Martin, does that resonate with you? Which one of those would you choose?
Yeah, I see the majority has selected D. Mm-hmm. Yeah, being the most difficult challenge. But for me, I think the first two, adapting forms to local conditions, and the B, consistent risk factor identification. These two require well knowledgeable personnel to do it. You need to really understand what you're doing. You need to have the proper knowledge of assessing the infrastructure, especially when talking about adapting the forms. You need to know when you are adapting the form, you are adapting something, what really, how to match it exactly with the conditions in the form. Yeah.
Thank you. And as Emmanuel is describing in the chat, if the budget is limited, that could adversely affect our ability to consistently conduct sanitary inspections. Maybe we can't go and do all the sanitary inspections we want to do as often as we would like. So my question to you, if the budget is limited, what will help us effectively manage our budget? Think about using sanitary inspections. Think about using sanitary inspections. What will help us to effectively manage, effectively use our budget? What can help us? What do you think? Have a think. Have a think. Also, John Martin, in your experiences, what's helped you and your team effectively manage the budget that you have available to run the sanitary inspection program that you want to do, that you think you need to do? What helps you effectively manage the budget available? So feel free if you want to do any translation, John. And
Yes. Yeah, kwamba wakati budget ikiwa ina changamoto, ikiwa ni ndogo, nini ambacho unakifanya kwa kupunguza, kuhakikisha kwamba unaweza kutekeleza swala la sanitary inspection na budget ndogo? Mnaweza mkachangia kwenye hilo, but I think Tom, for me budget is in most cases is always an issue, and you are trying to work with a very fixed budget. I think the most important thing to be able to conduct an effective sanitary inspection is to make sure that you conduct in a cost-effective manner by just looking at the key issues that you need to do. You always need to try to avoid the secondary costs. So you only focus on the primary costs.
sorry, so you're saying that if we have a limited budget, we need to think carefully about how we use that budget. Is that right?
Yes.
So for a sanitary inspection program, what can help us effectively manage our budget? What techniques can we use? How do we effectively manage our budget when we're running a sanitary inspection program? So I'm going to just get my screen. So imagine, do you use US dollars in Tanzania?
We use T-shilling.
Ah, okay. But are dollars used as well?
A dollar, no.
No.
We use widely T-shilling. Dollar is used in very few areas, especially international.
Okay, well,
areas, yeah.
I have some dollars here. So imagine if this is my budget for my sanitary inspection program. Okay. Now,
Yeah.
what is my budget? Who can tell me? What is my budget for my program?
Is that $100 or? It is 100, eh?
Is it? Can you see clearly? Who can tell me how much is that?
$10.
$10. Okay.
Yes.
So I've got $10. Um, thank you, Angela. So if I say, right, it's the first, say we've got a 12-month project, and in the first month, I say, right, we are going to do sanitary inspections everywhere, every day. Everyone, let's go. So in the first month, I spend my $10. It costs $10 to visit all of the sanitary inspections, to do all of them, all the sites every day for a month, $10, say. Okay, oh, I've still got $10. So the next month I go, yeah, let's keep doing that. Great, I like it. Still got $10. And then I notice, well, some of the forms, they're not making sense, or I'm going to have to ask you to do those again. I'm going to have to ask you to do those again because the forms, the results were inconsistent. The same water points got different scores from different people. Ugh, I'm going to do it again. Some people we had to retrain. Some people left the organization, so we had to recruit new people. But it's okay. Just do all of those sanitary inspections again. Right. Month 3, I'm going to keep with my plan of $10 using. Oh, hang on. There's no more $10. Oh, um, so okay. Right, we're going to pause. We're going to have a summer break. Everybody take some holiday. We're going to go look for some more money to keep funding this program. So, in my little scenario, what happened? What did you notice? I don't know if John, you want to do any clarification with translation, but what did you notice? What happened? I had $40. I didn't really know how much I had to start with, did I? John, if you need to do any translation, but what did you notice? This was my budget. Did I effectively manage my
Okay.
budget? If not, why not?
Mm. Yes, Tom. Maybe, mfano ambao ameutumia kwamba yuko na fungu la pesa ambalo sio la kutosha, lakini anahitaji kufanya sanitary inspection vizuri. Meiona hiyo mfano wake, na akatolea mfano kwamba unapoangalia unakuta labda kuna unahitaji watu ambao wana elimu ya kufanya hiyo sanitary inspection. Kuna mtu mwingine labda ameondoka, kuna mahitaji ambayo uko nayo. Ni kitu gani ambacho unakifanya ili kuweza kutumia bajeti yako vizuri kuweza kufanya sanitary inspection? Yes, Tom.
We see Emmanuel said if you've got a limited budget,
Mm.
you may be targeting high sites which have a high risk factor.
Mm.
Aha, thank you. I'm just understanding your comment, Emmanuel. Thank you. So if I've got a limited budget, so if I need, I've got $40 and I've got 12 months. Every 3 months, I can spend $10. So I realized that what I was doing, I was spending $10 in 1 month. So what I need to do is decide, right, how many sites can I visit? How many sites can I visit with that $10?
Mm.
Say I can visit 20 sites, 20 sites. And then, as Emmanuel said, those 20 sites, I should choose the sites which have the highest risk factor. Prioritization, exactly. So, Emmanuel, what do you mean by highest risk factor? How do we identify which sites have the highest risk? Prioritize, yes. So, you might have a limited budget, but if you choose to prioritize where to use the budget, where to do your center inspections, then that 10 months, those $40, 10, sorry, not 10 months, $10, every 3 months, $10, and you're using your budget effectively rather than all the sites every month and then in 3 months' time or 4 months' time, you've run out of money. That's exactly the thinking we need to adopt. It's a good question. How to prioritize? It's a really good question and a tricky one. How do we decide? Where do you think in the course, John, Martin, that point is covered? Deciding which ones to inspect. Do you have an idea? I'm wondering where it's treated
Yeah,
in
maybe.
the course. Martin, please jump in.
Yes, yeah, I think it's a good question also. So maybe I can contribute on that a little bit. How to prioritize where to do the sanitary inspection if you have limited budget. I think, yeah, for instance, if maybe in a village you have eruption of cholera, let's say. So you will have to identify uh, where do you try to identify where the contamination has occurred. Maybe if it is at maybe the tap stand. Yes, thank you, Tom. Maybe if it is at the tap stand, or if it is maybe at the source, and you can think by maybe doing maybe a physical visit to different components of the project, and maybe you first check the situation. If it is maybe, for instance, maybe a tap stand, it is on the middle of the village, and maybe there is maybe people it's surrounded maybe by latrines. You can decide, okay, let me check to this point because the situation physically seems like it's not good. So you can maybe decide to do inspection at that point, or maybe you go at the source, you check the source of water based on the condition, and then maybe you decided to dig more in by using the sanitary inspection form to understand the exactly point. So you can sample the places and then you conduct the sanitary inspection. Yeah, that is my contribution.
Thank you, Martin. That is really helpful. So it's kind of like, if I go back to my dollars, I hope you don't mind me using dollars in my example. It's a bit like, so my budget, what was my budget? $40? $40 for 12 months? What if I explain to the team or to the person who's organizing the budget to say, right, that $10 that we had planned at the start, for the first month or first 3 months, I need $20. I need to double that. I need to double that because, like Martin says, I don't know where to prioritize yet. I need to do a full assessment first. Maybe that can be done rapidly, quickly, not as thoroughly. And once I've got an idea, appreciation of where the risks are, where the highest risks are. So perhaps, like you were saying, Martin, there's areas where I guess a source, this is a tap stand, but a source, you might think, oh, well, if there's an issue at the source, that will affect a whole community, a whole community. So ensuring that the source here is a river intake. So maybe you decide, right, the river intake, the source, that's a priority for me. And so maybe that first month, we are more thorough and we build up a picture of where those high risk areas are before carrying on with our $10 every 3 months once we know how we've prioritized those sources. What do other people think to this idea? John, would you like to add anything? What do people think? How would you go about prioritizing sites for doing sanitary inspections?
Yes, it is a most tricky question to.
Great question.
Yeah, great question to tackle. Because you as you mentioned, you have a very limited budget, and you have a number of sites that you need to conduct sanitary inspection. $40 in your case, and you have $10 to do sanitary inspection every month. $10 for 3 months, for 12 months.
No, $40 for 12, $10 in this example for 3 months.
Yeah, for 3 months. It is an issue, as Martin said, that you need to prioritize. You go for the high risky area, that where you feel like there is more need for sanitary inspection, maybe both based on the current issues, if there is like eruption of waterborne diseases, then you start with those one. So it's like going for, you link them in terms of demand. Where there is a highest demand for sanitary inspection, that is where you concentrate first with your budget.
Exactly. Thank you.
Yeah.
John, I'm gonna move us on. I hope that's helpful. If you don't agree, type in the chat, raise your hand. If you do agree, type in the chat, let us know what you think. But as I was looking at this, I was thinking, yes, January, you want to raise your hand, you want to jump in, please do.
Swali langu hapo kwenye limited budget kama alivyosema kwamba unatakiwa unaangalia kwenye lile eneo lenye riski kubwa. Sasa tunavyosema limited budget au budget ambayo ni kidogo sana, sasa lile eneo lenye riski kubwa obvious pia linahitaji budget kubwa. Sasa unaweza kuwa na budget ambayo hata haiwezi kutoshea kwenye kufanya matengenezo au kufanya repair za lile eneo husika. Sasa ni kipi kifanyike? Acha ile kwamba una kiasi cha kutosha, uangalie eneo ambalo lina riski kubwa. Tunachokisemea sisi ambacho kwamba hapo kwenye limited budget inakuwa na changamoto ni kwamba una budget ndogo kuliko namna ambavyo hiyo budget inaweza ikashughulika kutatua lile tatizo. Sasa risky, there is a big risk or high risk, but you have a limited budget that which is not efficient to fulfill the maintenance, to clear the risk. Nini kifanyike hapo?
Aha. Okay, sawa. Wewe swali lako hapo ni kwamba budget ipo lakini ni ndogo, haiwezi kutosha kufanya matengenezo hata yale madogo, si ndio
Yeah. Swali langu ni hivyo kwamba haiwezi kufanya matengenezo ambayo yataleta solution, suluhisho ya kutatua ile riski iliyopo. Ukitumia budget hiyo ndogo, yani utafanya repair, lakini inaweza ile repair isitoshe kuleta suluhisho sasa tosha ambalo litafanya riski ile iondoke.
Kwa hiyo hiyo sasa ni changamoto. Tom, what January is saying,
it's okay. I've got translation.
You got it, okay.
Yes, good question. So, January, you're asking maybe the area with the highest risk you identify, we can't afford to fix it. So this is where I guess we look at, well, what do you guys think? If you have limited resources, what do you do? Do you leave it? Do you do nothing? How do you use your money if you can't afford to solve the problem or solve the entire problem? What can you do? From your experience, what have you tried?
Sorry, Mr. I can add something there.
Oh, please do.
Yeah. Do we create an inspection budget? Do we create that budget before inspection or after inspection. This means if we are creating the budget before inspection, how do we sure that the budget will fit the maintenance or will provide the solution upon the risk that will be found to the community? Ndio swali langu hapo, kwamba kama tunatengeneza ile budget kabla hatujafanya inspection, tunajihakikishia vipi kwamba ile budget itaweza kufiti riski ambazo tutakutana nayo kule. Nikiwa na maana kwamba unaweza ukafika maeneo fulani ambapo ukakutana na riski kubwa ambayo ikawa iko zaidi ya bajeti yako. Sasa kwa sababu budget unaandaa kabla hujafika site, hasa unaweza kufika site ukakutana na changamoto ambayo ni kubwa inayohitaji budget kubwa. Sasa unafanyaje? Na ukisema utumie hiyo manake utaweza kusolve baadhi tu ya matatizo, na kuna matatizo mengine ambayo sasa utatoa solution kamili ya changamoto iliyopo kwenye yale maji.
So John, are we talking about, well, what do we do? Martin, you've got your hand raised. Please jump in. Thank you.
Okay, so maybe to, yeah, I think, so team, I think here what we are discussing is the budget to conduct the sanitary inspection and not to resolve the problem, because as you have said, I don't know, January, I think as you have said, you cannot prepare the budget if you don't understand the problem and how big is that. Lengo la sanitary inspection ni kwanza kutambua tatizo kama lipo, kama lipo au halipo, kama maybe a certain unit is functioning, is operating properly or not. Is there any risk to water contamination or not? If there is any, maybe through the sanitary inspection, you may suspect that at that particular project component, there might be a risk to contaminate water. And then you have, when you are doing this inspection, you have to suggest maybe the way forward, the action that should be taken. Yes. So lengo la sanitary inspection ni ku-identify chances za water contamination. Ndio maana pale inauliza kwamba je, ile water ile pump imefungwa vizuri kwenye ile bezi yake au la. Ina maana tunamaanisha kwamba kama haijafungwa vizuri, kuna uwezekano mkubwa wa maji taka kupita pale ambapo hapajakazwa vizuri, yakaenda kucontaminate maji ambayo yako kwenye kisima. Lakini kama pamefungwa vizuri, ina maana hatuna riski. Kwa hiyo kwa mfano unafanya sanitary inspection ukakuta kwenye hand pump pale haijafungwa vizuri, ina maana hapo tayari kuna riski, na hiyo riski unaweza ukasuggest solution, labda inatakiwa labda tukaze hii manifold iwe vizuri, ikaze vizuri kwenye base. Lakini unakaza kwa nini? Ndio hapo inaingia mambo ya budget. Tuna spanner for instance, tuna spanner za kukaza ambazo ni compatible na nati ambazo ziko pale. Je, mtu wa kukaza ni nani? Ni technician, yuko wapi? Kuna usafiri wa kumpeleka au la? Kwa hiyo lengo la hii kwanza ni ku-identify tatizo. Ndio maana kama ukisema yes kuna tatizo, so you have to suggest the action that you think it may fix that issue and prevent contamination. So I think we are kind of mixing things. It's not like the budget the budget that we have been discussing is the budget to conduct the sanitary inspection, and not retrofitting the issue that is there, because you cannot do a budget if you don't understand the problem, how big is that, etc. I think yes, maybe.
Thank you, Martin. That's really helpful. Exactly. There are two elements. One is, once we do the sanitary inspection, as in Martin described, we find out what corrective action is needed, we list that out, and then we work out how much will each of those actions cost. So my dollar signs here, big dollar signs means a lot of money, small dollar signs means just a small bit of money. And then we will have there might not yet be a budget for these corrective actions. There might not yet be a budget. So it might be that we produce a budget from our assessments, or it might be that there is an existing budget and we have to decide which of these issues we're going to resolve with the budget that we have available. But that's for the corrective action. It's all interlinked. It's all interlinked because our goal, we want to see improved protected sources. Now, we're using sanitary inspections to identify risks to contamination. If they're small, we might want to fix them straight away. So I think in any sanitary inspection program, I'd expect there to be some money for repairs, maintenance, but maybe not for bigger repairs, bigger maintenance tasks. But when we come to think about, well, how do we use our resources for conducting sanitary inspections? So that's deciding where we go, how often. One thing that I wanted us to highlight and appreciate was, I'll put it on here. So back to this slide. If we want to manage our budget effectively, if we want to use the money we have for organizing a sanitary inspection program, then I think all of these are important. All these three, A, B, C. I think it's important that we adapt the forms to local conditions so we use the time more efficiently. There are less issues and questions that will help consistent risk factor identification. Consistent risk factor identification itself, if we do that well, we will be more efficient. We will use our time, our money, our resources more effectively. So that will help us. If we do these things well, A, B, C, we should manage our budget more effectively. And likewise, if we maintain an adequate human resource who are well trained, who can consistently identify risk factors, then we will be using our resources, our budget effectively. So they are all interlinked. Now, when we come to assess our program, we are looking at all of these aspects. Now, the budget, we might not be able to change, but thinking about how we support the team, the people who are doing the inspections, how we have consistent inspections, that we have some control over. So we asked you to identify your most difficult challenge because that helps you prioritize which of these to improve, because it might be hard to improve them all at once. So we can decide which one is of most importance to us. Now, when you were looking through this course, through the discussion forum, you should have come across the Sanitary Inspection Program Assessment Tool. Sanitary Inspection Program Assessment Tool. Can you raise your hand or type in the chat? Have you seen this? Have you used it yet? I think for the assignment 2A and 2B, you should be using it. So if you've used it already, raise your hand. Part of module 2. So this assessment tool helps us assess how effective our program of doing sanitary inspections is. And it gives us 6 sections to assess. 6 sections to assess. Now, I was going to ask you as well, out of these 6 sections, if you were to think about the program that you're involved in, if you're involved in a sanitary inspection program, which of these sections do you think is the most difficult? So we've asked before which element is most difficult, but when you look at running a sanitary inspection program, these are the areas that we can use to evaluate how well it is performing, how effective our program is. So are we using standardized operational definitions? Do we have inspector training and calibration to make sure they're doing a good job when they do their inspections? Do we have quality assurance processes to make sure that we can trust that those inspections are being done well and effectively? So if you've had a chance to look at this, have a think and type in the chat or annotate the screen. We've got the little button here. Which of these, I'm going to put it on the screen again, which section is the most difficult for you to achieve in your context? Which section is the most difficult for you to achieve in your context? John, Martin, if either of you want to clarify this bit, please do. Which section is the most difficult to achieve in your context out of these 6 sections which come from the Sanitary Inspection Program Assessment Tool, which you should find in your materials?
Yes, I will try to explain it in Swahili. Nafikiri kwenye kozi mtakuwa mmekutana na kitu kinaitwa Sanitary Inspection Program Assessment Tool. Kama kuna mtu amekutana nacho anaweza akanyosha mkono kwenye chati akatype kunyosha mkono. Hiyo assessment tool ni muhimu sana kwenye kufanya hiyo sanitary inspection. Swali kwa ajili huyo akafanya. There is a hand, someone has come across the sanitary inspection assessment tool. Umeweza kuitumia, ni mmoja tu ndo amefanya. Alafu kwenye swali letu hapa tungependa kujua maoni yenu kati ya vipengele hivi vyote 6, kipi kipengele ambacho ni kigumu zaidi kukitekeleza katika mazingira yako ya kazi? Kwa hiyo unachagua kulingana na mazingira yako ya kazi unavyoyaona. Ni ipi ambayo itaonekana kuwa ni ngumu zaidi kuifanyia kazi? Unaweza ukatype kwenye chat ama unaweza ukatumia ile kalamu ukachora ukaonyesha.
So you can mark on the screen using
Yes.
a pen, type in the chat.
Unaweza ukaweka alama kwenye screen hapo, kipengele ambacho unaona ni there is number 5, quality assurance process. Mwingine
So if you're just joining, we are asking you which section is the most difficult to achieve in your context. And these are the sections which come from the Sanitary Inspection Program Assessment Tool. Sanitary Inspection Program Assessment Tool. Great. So we're seeing some come up on the screen here. You can annotate the screen. So data management, I've got 1. Quality assurance, I've got 3, I think.
Yep.
And you can type in the chat which of these sections. So these are all ways of assessing how, thank you, section 5.
Yeah.
These are all different ways of assessing the performance of your sanitary inspection program. How effective is your sanitary inspection program? How well is it running? How well is it being organized? So there's some consensus here around number 5, which is quality assurance processes. So we're just going to dive into that right now. We're going to dive into that right now. Do you want to lead this one to begin with, John? So I think data use and management. Nope, that's not the right one. Quality assurance. So I'm going to just remove our drawings. And then I've hidden, John, I've hidden these. And I'd like to see if we can, this comes from the form. So if you've seen the form already, this is a bit of a test. But which of these can we think of? So all of these are descriptions of what makes for good quality assurance processes when you're running a sanitary inspection program. So imagine that you are organizing a team. They are going out every week to conduct sanitary inspections, and you want to make sure that you can have confidence in the quality of the work they are doing. So if you're not familiar with sanitary inspection programs, think about engineers who are checking water quality, who are making installations, who are doing construction work, or maybe social science. Maybe you have people who are promoting hygiene in your communities, promoting best practice for hygiene. What can you be doing as a team, as a manager, to ensure that the quality assurance is being done well? How do you make sure quality is being assured? John, if you need to add any translations to that, please do.
Yes. Watu wengi mmechagua quality assurance processes kama ni kitu kigumu kukifanya kwenye ile sanitary inspection program assessment tool. Sasa hapa tuko na jedwali ama kipengele hicho cha sanitary inspection assessment tool ambacho kiko na maelezo yakiwa yamefichwa. Sasa swali, tuko na sehemu 7: 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Swali, je, ni kipengele gani cha hiyo quality assurance assessment process ambayo unafikiri ni ngumu kuitekeleza kati ya vipengele 7, kati ya hayo matendo 7? Unaweza ukatype kwenye chat.
Should I give an example of one, John?
Yes, you can give an example.
I'm going to ask you to give me an example, John, and I will reveal it on the screen. Test your memory.
Okay.
Or Martin, maybe we should ask Martin. Martin, can you think of one? Can you think of a practice? Or John, if Martin's not sure right now.
Martin is not, he cannot hear us at the moment.
No problem. Can you give us an example then, please, John?
An example.
Quality assurance practice. What do you do with your teams to ensure the quality of their work?
Let's see, go for example, maybe water testing.
This is to do with sanitary inspection. So we're using sanitary inspections.
Or sanitary inspection.
You've got an inspector. They're going out, they're using the sanitary inspection form, visiting the water infrastructure, and we want to have systems in place to make sure that they are doing a good job. And we have methods which we call quality assurance. And I'll give you an example. Here's one: that a supervisor accompanies the inspectors on field visits on a regular basis. Why would that help with quality assurance? How would that help ensure that the inspector is doing a good job? Why might that help? Why might that help? So the inspector is the one doing the job. We have a supervisor. They accompany them on field visits on a regular basis. How does that help assure the quality of the inspector's work? So I might need to zoom in. Aha. Emmanuel, I'm going to see if I can get a translation.
Intimacy is not good. I'm switching there. Okay. Kuhakikisha watu anaheshimu taratibu zilizowekwa kama inavyotakiwa.
Mhm. Yeah, I've got that.
Have you
So,
got
yeah, I've got the
the
translation.
translation?
Let's have a look. Can you repeat that out loud for us, please?
It's just to make sure that from Emmanuel, from Ima, he means that to make sure that all the necessary processes are followed correctly.
So is that what the supervisor is doing? They are checking
Yes.
that the inspector is
They are to
following
ensure that,
following the protocol.
yes, there is
Great.
a proper inspection.
Super. Then in that case, can anyone else think of any other things we can be doing to ensure quality, to assure quality? What else can we be doing to ensure the quality of the inspector's work when they do the sanitary inspections? What else can we be doing to assure quality? What do you do to ensure the quality of the people in your team when they go out to sites to conduct sanitary inspections? Think of the team as well. John, I have an idea.
Yes.
Imagine, John, that I am one of your inspectors on your team.
Okay.
And you are the supervisor. Now, John, you might need to look at the answers for this if you've got the answers on your end. John, imagine you are the supervisor and you are going to demonstrate, you're going to model all the things that you can do to ensure that I'm doing a good job.
Okay.
Yep. So you're playing the role of the supervisor. I'm playing the role of the inspector.
Okay.
So, you ready to play the game? We're going to go one by one. I hope you have the answers on your screen for section 5 or on your side.
Yes.
Great. We're going to go one by one. We're going to follow the order. So you've accompanied me already on a field visit and we come back to the office. John, great field visit. I'm just going to finish filling in my forms and I'm just going to go post them now. I'm going to submit them. Is that okay? I'm going to submit them, file them. We finished our field visit. I'm just going to submit them. Is that okay?
Okay.
John, you're the supervisor. What do you need to do? Number 2 on the list.
Yes. Make sure that training has been conducted.
No, Emma has got the right answer. You need to inspect my form. You need to check my form before it's submitted. Because if you don't, it might be wrong and I might have made errors. That is one way checking that I'm doing a good job. You might not do it for every form, but you might do it for some forms to check that I'm doing a good job. Maybe I just drew a big picture and it wasn't the form at all. Very good. Okay, next one, John. I'm still playing the role of the technician, the inspector, sorry, the inspector. Please do jump in the chat if you think you know what the supervisor should do. John, sorry,
Yes.
Yeah, Kenneth. He got caught in the rain and we
Okay.
can't understand his forms, so I'm going to go back and do some re-inspections. Well, they haven't got caught in the rain. I just don't think they're very good. I don't think he's doing a very good job. So I'm going to go back and check the work he's done by doing some re-inspections. I'm going to inspect the same things, the same sites. Is that okay? Does that sound like a good idea? What are we doing?
Yes.
What are we doing? Can you type in the chat? What are we doing? What are we doing? Yeah, I think I need to go back, John,
That
and
is
check.
verification.
Yes, that's right. Verification.
Yes.
John, I was hoping someone in the chat would actually do that, not you, but that's okay.
Okay.
Verification or re-inspection. So one way we can check for quality is to inspect the same site more than once by different people and then compare those results. Maybe we can go ourselves and use the form. This is one way of checking that we can have confidence in the form. So it's all very well having the money to do all of these assessments, to do all of these inspections with the sanitary inspection forms, but if we don't know if they're good quality, it's not maybe worth it. So next one, we're going to just do a couple more for this on quality. Can you think of any other ones? Okay, I'm going to do one more, John. The last one from the bottom, this blue one. Let me just show you on the screen. I want to do this one, John. See if you can see it on your computer or on your end. We're gonna do this one as a role play. You ready? Ready, John? I'm the inspector. You're the supervisor. John, I finished the form. I will finish the form. What do you think? I visited one site, and I hope you don't mind. I took quite a lot of notes. I've gone to one site and I've done the inspection form. It took me 3 days. Is everything okay? It was very detailed. I interviewed everybody who was using the water point and asked them what they did yesterday, how much water they were taking, which football team they support. Was that good?
So that's now feedback.
Just give me some feedback. Give me some feedback, John.
Yeah.
Give me some feedback. Oh, Emma, yes, practicing together. Excellent. I like that. I like that. Do we have that? I don't think it's on this one, but let me see. I think it might be. Dug, dug, dug. Stay with me. Um, Preparation of all inspection tools required. Very good. I like this. And these are good. Let me see. Preparation, quality indicators, attract, process. I think these might come under training. So I'm going to go back a couple of sheets here on my screen because I think what we're talking about is under training. So I think these ones here, trainer, inspector training, and calibration, I think they're very similar to quality insurance. Very similar. Oh, that's data management, excuse me. Very similar to quality assurance. So I'm just going to jump to section 4, inspector training and calibration. One person said that it would be good to practice doing the inspections before the site visits. Let's see if it's on there. I'm going to see if it's on there. Hang on a sec. Is it on there? Do you think it's on there, John? Is it on there? Under 4?
Number 4.
Practice. Well, let's have a look. Yes, it is. It's the first one. Let me find it. Let me get it on the screen. There you go. It's the first one. Inspectors receive formal initial training that includes hands-on field practice. That's right, not just practice in the office, because practice in the office is not the same as practice at a site. Thank you so much. Practicing together, Emma, and also preparation of all inspection tools required before the visit. Now, I think this is another one of those sections. What section does that fall under? What section does that fall under? What section? So somebody said in the chat to make sure, or a way for us to make sure we're doing SI selection and application. Thank you very much. Right. So Emma is saying that the preparation of inspection tools. So yeah, as we prepare our package, let me have a look at which one of those. That's number, I haven't got that one. Sorry, not here, but I do have it on here on my other screen. So pull it across for you. But I think you are right. Package selection and application. Oop, going to zoom in slightly. So written guidance exists for selecting which sanitary inspection package to use for different types of water systems. So making sure we have all of those forms, because remember, all of the different forms we might have the reservoir, we might have the tap stand. So when we step back and look at the system as a whole, when we step back and look at the system as a whole, here, we need to make sure we have the inspection form for the reservoir, the inspection form for the tap stand, the inspection form for the pipeline. Everything's ready. And we may also want to have adapted them so they are appropriate for our context. Great. Great. Anything else in the chat? So we were on, to begin with, we've got all these different areas. Let me just move this back across. These different sections that we can look at. Let me get the right page for everybody. Here. So these are the different sections. So if you're not already familiar with the tool, it's the Sanitary Inspection Program Assessment Tool. During the discussions, hello, Karibu, if you're just joining us, this form is an integral part of the discussion forum, the discussion assignment. You should look at the case study, use this form to make your assessment. And this form, as we've seen, has these 6 sections. Each section, I can get the entire form out now with all the answers. So if we go back down, you see each section. I'll just scroll down to the one we were looking at to begin with on quality assurance. So it gives you here, it's a way to assess how efficient, how well your sanitary inspection program is performing, is operating. So you can fill this in. You can say, right, do inspectors get regular feedback on their performance? Yes, they do. After every week, a supervisor provides each inspector with constructive feedback. So we can use this form to assess how well we are performing, organizing our sanitary inspection program, our program. It can become quite a complex form maybe, but what's really helpful is to update it, to use it. So maybe we look at it and we choose one section, and then in a few weeks' time, we choose another section, and we build up our program. And that's why we were asking you to look at, right, which of these are you most concerned about? Which do you find the most difficult? Maybe that's the place to start when you do your assessment. So maybe start with section 5, quality assurance processes. For those of us who've already completed the assignment, you would have noticed in the assignment, we asked you to share which of these do you find the most difficult to achieve in your context. What came out number 1? Oh, I think inspector training calibration is a slight error because these should be percentages, but if that was corrected, which I will do, which of these has come out the highest? Which of these? So this is from, I've been looking at people's assignments in the forum, and I've pulled out, you've been asked to tell us in your context, which section, which area do you think is the weakest, the least developed, or has the most challenges? So just to finish, I know we've gone over time, so just to finish, I'm going to ask you if you can to type in the chat, to use the little pen and highlight the one that, yes, you agree that's definitely one that's most difficult, or which of these which of these are you going to read up on? Which of these are you going to study as part of maybe as your own little study exercise? Which one? So we found that most people found that inspector calibration and standardized operation definitions, those were the areas that people felt were weakest in your context, in your area, for your programs. So if those areas are weak for you, as well, then you're not alone. Many people also mentioned risk factor documentation. So this assessment allows you to decide, right, which of these sections am I going to work on for as a team? Which section do we need to improve and work on? John, if you want to jump in and just clarify this last piece on the assessment tool. These are the sections that, from what I've seen from assignments that have been posted, that came out as the main issues. And so we can use our understanding of our programs to decide which section is the weakest and which section do we want to invest, do we want to improve upon.
Yeah. Sasa kulingana na majibu ambayo mmetoa baada ya kuchagua kwamba lipi ni section ambayo inakuwa ni ngumu kufanya, majibu yake ni haya. Sasa hapa inaonyesha section ambazo ni ngumu na section ambazo ni nyepesi. Mnaweza kuona hapo kwenye jedwali, kwenye upande wa percentage kuna 3%. Hiyo inaonyesha ugumu wake ama urahisi wake wa kufanya. Kuna 37, kuna 33. Kwa hiyo kwenye hizi jinsi zilivyokaa, je, ni sawa kulingana na hali halisi ya mazingira tulionayo?
And when you go into the platform, you should see Unit 2A discussion assignment if you've not already seen it. Sorry, I meant to say 2B. Is that correct? Yes. So again, it's use this program assessment tool, the one we've just been looking at, to organize your assessment and your thinking about the case study. So 2A, if you've seen it already, is to look at the case study and decide which of these areas, sections, you think has the most serious gap. And then for you, in your context, which of these areas do you relate to, match your context? That's 2A. And then 2B, I think, goes on to look at them. Oh, that's the assessment case study. Here it is, the assessment submission. But it's all these discussions are based around using the program, the sanitary inspection program and assessment tool. So that's what we encourage you to look at. We're wrapping up now, but if you've got any questions, I want to make sure there's time for questions. So John as well, you can lead that in Swahili. But just as a reminder of where we're in week 3. Next week, we'll encourage you to look at water quality testing. We'll have a live session again on the Thursday. But any questions you have from today's session about the course in general, please do go ahead. John, feel free to lead this in Swahili.
Thank you, Tom. Tunamalizia kipindi chetu. Umeona leo tulichokifanya. Una swali lolote kuhusiana na mafunzo yote kwa ujumla toka tulivyoanza mpaka sasa hivi na kuhusiana na tulichojifunza leo? Kama kuna swali lolote, tunakaribisha maswali. Karibuni kama kuna mtu ana swali lolote kuhusiana na tulichojifunza leo ama swali lolote kuhusiana na kozi nzima kwa ujumla toka tulivyoanza mpaka hivi sasa. Tom, it is quiet. Tom, we can't hear you.
If it's
Okay.
quiet, it means
Yeah.
maybe we need some think time. We need some time to digest this session. Not a problem. If you have
Yes.
questions after the session, do reach out to us using the platform. Do use the discussion forum. We will respond to any posts. And just as a clarification, so when you look at discussion forum, these descriptions here should help you appreciate or understand, right, what can we be doing to improve this area? So if we say we wanted to improve training, inspector training, what can we do? Well, we could have inspectors do joint inspections together. We go to work together, and that helps us learn from each other. So these are all ideas that you might want to think about using or considering. Yes, more time for discussion across inspectors. Exactly. Thank you, Emmanuel. So that's the assignment. You'll see those pop up. We will be reviewing those and look forward to seeing your insights, hearing about your challenges, your contexts, and what you're doing. But if there are no more questions, then we will bring the session to a close, and we'll be here next week, Thursday, looking at water quality testing.
Good.
I had one question, though, if no one has a question. My one question, John. I can see someone is wearing a football shirt. I think it's a yellow gold color, and I'm intrigued. What team is that? I have a football shirt here. Don't know if you know this team, but there's somebody with a football shirt, and I'm curious to see who it is. And the other person.
Kuna mtu amevaa jezi hapo kama inayoonyeshwa. Angependa kujua ni timu gani hiyo.
There's one gold. It's a golden.
Ya kama dhahabu hivi.
Which team is that? Is it a team in Tanzania?
Ni timu ya Tanzania ama ni timu za nje? Ni nani huyo? Who is that?
Maybe they can't hear us. Not a problem. If you're watching back and you know, let us know. Great. Thank you so much. Thank you, John. Thank you, Martin. And
yes, thank you.
We'll see.
Mwambie Yanga huyo.
What team is it?
It's a Tanzanian team called
which
Yanga.
Yanga.
Young African.
Yes.
Yanga.
Yanga bingwa.
John, Yanga.
Yanga Sports Club.
Yanga Sports Club.
Yes.
Great. Okay. Great to share this time with you. We're going to close the call. The recording will be available soon. So if you want to watch anything back, you can. And yeah, we look forward to exchanging with you in the discussion forum. John, Martin, you have any closing words, please do.
Thank you so much, Tom, for the nice presentation that you have done. And I would like to thank each and everyone for taking their time to be here to take this important session. Asanteni sana kwa kushiriki kwenu. Yale yote ambayo tumejifunza hapa, unaweza ukauliza kwenye forum yetu yoyote, unaweza ukauliza kwenye maswali, kwenye magrupu ya WhatsApp, unaweza ukauliza hata kwenye discussion forum, ili kusudi tuendelee kuwa na kubadilishana uzoefu. Thank you. That's all from me.
Asante sana.
Yeah, also from me, thank you, Tom and John. Yeah, and all the participants for your participation, for sparing some time to participate in this drop-in session. I would like to encourage you to keep doing the good job. You are doing a good job. So let's keep pushing so that we can finish this course as per schedule. But also maybe I would like to, because you know each other, so maybe you can pass this message to other learners to also encourage them to attend this session as it is helpful. Mnauliza maswali mazuri ambayo tunadhani pia ni muhimu na wenzetu wengi pia wakawa wanahudhuria ili kupata clarification ya pamoja. Kwa mfano maswali leo, yeah, the engagement was great and you asked a lot of good questions that yeah, I'm sure it will help as at the end of the course, it will help you to change the way we work and make sure we supply safe and clean water to the community. Kwa hiyo shukran sana kwa maswali yote, na kama alivyosema John, kwa maswali mengine yoyote mnaweza mkaendelea kuuliza kwenye platform zetu, na sisi tunachungulia huko mara kwa mara. Tuko hapo kwa ajili ya kurespond yanapohitajika. Thank you very much.
Great, thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
Bye bye.
Muwe na jioni njema. Have a good evening, Tom.
You too.
Thank you.